You're listening to a main feed episode. Go to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers where €5 a month gets you weekly full-length episodes, stray bonus content and access to the back catalogue. Also helps cover hosting and gives us money for sweeties. Thank you. Celtic Ligers.
Recorded 26th of November 2025.
We got this letter into the house. I might get it. Sorry, I should have literally done this before we record. It's just on the other side of that door.
Alright, go for it. I'll vamp. I was just telling James about Sean Whelan, the RTE correspondent. Frank, as our American correspondent, tell us whether this is true. Sean Whelan was talking about the Ukraine peace deal and how Trump wanted to get it done before Thanksgiving. And Sean Whelan said, now as the America expert, because he's been there for a few months, I guess, he said, Thanksgiving is kind of very big for the Americans. It's bigger than Christmas.
It's bigger than Christmas, everybody.
It's bigger than Christmas.
Get used to it, as you say.
I'm asking Frank whether that's actually true, because there is no way that is true. There just is not a way. Not a hope in fucking hell it's true.
I think it's more emotionally important, but less fiscally. It's like you're more likely to go home for Thanksgiving than you are for Christmas.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think that's 100% true.
All right, Frank, let us know.
We got this letter.
Frank is the one American who listens to the show.
We got this letter in.
Besides Matthew Tallon.
Yeah. And it said it was like a really long letter. It's like that. It was like an impersonal one. It says Mouth and Foot Painting Artists Ireland.
Right.
And it's like, we've enclosed, I write to introduce you to the Mouth and Foot Painting Artists Ireland. We believe in a personal touch, so we've sent you a number of free cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, what a fucking weird niche. I genuinely was like, they only draw mouths and feet.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was, when you said that, I thought it was like disabled artists who kind of only had the use of. Okay.
But that's how, it's too stupid to be funny, but that's literally what I thought. I was like, then I was looking at the cards and I was like, none of these are hands and feet. It's like all the Virgin Mary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck was going on? And then I flipped it over and there's a fella in a wheelchair on it. He was like, I've written the thing. And I was like, oh, he must have foot and mouth disease. I was so like scattered by the whole thing. But no, it's like a bunch of people who use their mouths and their feet to paint.
Yeah. You didn't need to tell me.
I'm going to show you one. Is that feasible?
With your mouth or your feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
You think a mouth or a foot could draw that?
Yes.
So angular.
Maybe. I think with your mouth.
I'll show you the other ones.
What's that guy, My Left Foot? Christy what?
Well, he wrote a book.
He didn't write a book. He was an artist as well.
He wrote a book.
Pretty sure he was an artist.
Like that you could do with a foot. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying you could do it with a foot. You know, it's like softer.
Yeah.
Whereas what I'm showing you is like a mosaic of the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
Which is hard as well.
Let me see. He did do paintings. You've just been owned.
In his spare time, he did some paintings, yeah.
You have just been owned by...
But he wrote a book.
I know he wrote a book.
He famously wrote a book called My Left Foot.
Was that the... Okay.
That's him. That's him.
No, I know. I've
then they
just seen the movie. I didn't know that it was based on a book. I thought it was just he wrote a book and then they made a movie about him.
Let's see what his books are about.
Well, his art is not a million miles away from the painting you just showed me, is what I'm saying.
It's like a... Which one? What's the name? Christy Brown.
Yeah.
Christy Brown. Irish writer.
Christy Brown. You know what? I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up because I just typed in Christy Brown painting. I should have just typed in Christy Brown. See what comes up. Known for writing and painting, as it says on Wikipedia.
He was most known for his autobiography entitled My Left Foot.
Actually, I was lying because I hadn't read that, but it does say Christy Brown on Wikipedia was an Irish writer and painter. So there you go.
What was the other books about? If he had any at all.
Yeah, the idea of like this incredible story of overcoming adversity, and then second one is like, here's my second story about that. And they go, yeah, we already read that. Did you have anything else?
No.
I have this one about I'm trying to think of like the most generic thing, like a serial killer, but he's got the detective that's hunting him. He's actually the serial killer because he's got multiple personality disorder.
Christy Brown books. My Left Foot. Down All the Days. Well, that's about. And A Shadow of the Summer. Here in Dublin in the 40s and 50s, down all the days is suffering and joys. Right. Well, fair play to him all the same.
Yeah, we love you, Christy.
One good book.
Come on the pod.
One good book. Right. Well, here's another one. Christy Brown wrote A Shadow on Summer, which is about a disabled author.
Right.
That's the same as the first one.
Come on. Get a new idea, Jesus.
Right about like a fella with 4 legs. You know what I mean?
My phone's beeping somewhere in the apartment. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, fuck me. Another fucking comment on that stupid thing with news. Okay, he's not listening. You didn't hear that, did you?
News talk. News. What?
Newscheck.
Whatever it's called.
I got it. I'm getting like notifications saying like somebody's now added to that. And I'm still thinking about it. And it's my podcast, so I'm allowed pontificate on it.
It's our podcast.
Sorry, our. And I'm allowed to talk about it. Because it's like that thing where it's like, well, you don't want to add more comments to it and make it sound like it's still bothering you. You're some sort of petty man. And now I can let the listeners know I am bothered by it.
I think you should just link to our podcast. That's all you need to say to them.
No, because if I do, then it'll be like, yeah, why don't try some real comedy? And it just invites them to say, well, this is shit. You're stupid.
Yeah, but that's part of the point.
Yeah, I know. I would love to. I'm just saying we should talk about it on the podcast and get the rage clicks that way.
What thing was it on?
Honestly, it was one of the most innocuous of the bad AI videos that he made on Instagram.
But was it on Instagram?
Instagram.
Was it on Instagram?
Yeah.
What's his account?
It's Newscheck Comedy. So, for anybody who wants to know about Newscheck Comedy, we've talked about them before. We had a little watch party watching all of the disgusting AI animated videos that they make. I think there's like 3 guys who started Cherry Comedy, and it's Dwayne Dugan, Niall Farrell, and then this guy who I don't know his name, but so they have like an offices in Dublin, and they run like classes, and then they get like people who are of like some renown doing little sketches every now and again. But then there's been a pivot in the past few months to just making.
Who would be of any renown?
Kevin McGahern. No.
Okay.
Not of renown. Not renowned enough for you. The great Kevin McGahern, and that's no shade because I actually like Kevin McGahern.
So if I go to Newscheck Casting, how do I find the post you're arguing?
One of them is Newscheck Comedy, okay? And so he started making these AI animated things, which I was just half asleep yesterday watching one of them. And
which
then
one was it though? Just
it was the
so
one with it's like Sinn Féin. I'll just play it for you.
I want to comment.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'll put it in here for everybody else.
I'll read it. We are Sinn Féin. We are Sinn Féin.
Is that
but
it?
Not in the IRA.
Yeah.
But on the IRA. Can we still be up the Ra? Yeah, you can still be up the Ra in your own time. I'm busy with a taxi. I don't think I have time for both. Where are the Ra? Blah, blah, blah. He loves this fella. He's a recurring character of the North Face wearing scumbag.
Yeah.
So let's get into the comments now. I'm just going to post our podcast. How do you reply? Have a day off, Gareth, he says to you.
Yeah,
That's
not okay. So the thing is, like, he gets back Newscheck Comedy, and he kind of goes like, "Look, if it's not your thing, then."
What did you say? I said, "There's not one good thing about any of these videos."
Yeah, there is not a thing about these videos which is good.
Right.
I was half asleep.
I try to clean it up for you there.
I knew you were, but I was trying to be honest.
I host a podcast with Gareth. That's really good, actually. It's called Celtic Ligers.
We're actually talking about you right now. Do you want to listen to the next episode?
I'm not going to say that.
Do write that, because he'll fucking listen then.
I'm just going to say we talk about Irish comedy. Irish comedy all the time. That way, it'll hint towards it. Without, being a threat. His code is really good and funny. Okay. Wait.
So he did this thing.
Watch the likes roll in.
He said, "Hey Gareth, I'm sorry to hear. I just don't have €1,200 to pay an animator for 3 days to animate this. If you don't like them, I'm sorry, but maybe just unfollow. If I had money, I would, but I'm trying my best." And you're like, he does this thing where it's like, look, sure, I'm just trying. I'm just doing whatever. And then some other guy comes in underneath and goes, "What? It's funny and the animation is really good, but weird that you have a page with drawings that are far more shite. I thought you said it was good, so it's far more shite, idiot."
Yeah.
But then he goes, "But yet you were here slagging at Newscheck Comedy. This animation is going places. Your comments ensure you won't." And he's removed the like now, as far as I can see, but he had liked that previously. The thing saying that my stuff was shit. And I just wanted to call this out because I was like, I'm petty. And also because it's like, I'm just a nice guy. And geez, if I had the money I pay, it's like, you have an offices in Dublin, okay? You have people who, I said underneath, every TikToker is able to use their phone to make this with labels and a wig without draining a reservoir to make ugly ass cartoons, robbing other people's actual efforts. you're making Irish comedy worse. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he gets, oh, I'm really sorry you feel that. I don't agree, unfortunately. And I don't think this video has drained a reservoir. That's just really like, I thought you were comedy is in your name. Do you understand a fucking joke? It doesn't mean that you literally drained a reservoir. It's that you're contributing to the environment being fucked over. Okay? Making bad comedy. I don't really like myself on camera a lot of the time, as it makes me feel quite nervous and can't afford actors. Okay, well then what about you just use your voice, you take a picture of Mary Lou, and then you alternate it, like you put it into Adobe Premiere or something like that. Oh no, I don't want to learn anything. Okay, well then don't make it. Don't make it. Like, nobody's put a gun to your head. You don't have to make this. And I think that hurdles are important, where it's like, you know, oh fuck, I'd have to learn to do something. But the content is good enough that I am going to do that. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's an admission first off, is like, this idea sucks, that I'm prepared to put any effort into it. And then he also kind of has this, you know, thing where it's like, you know, it kind of, he wrote the idea and created it. And like, this is the only way that I could make it. And it's like, well, you haven't made it. Okay?
Yeah.
Some other computer made it. So you haven't made anything. Okay? And then on top of that, he is definitely writing with ChatGPT as like his partner. Do you know?
Yeah.
Because we've seen other stuff that he's done, and he literally, like, it is just ChatGPT, the whole thing, or whatever the fuck he uses. He uses AI to write these things as well. And it's like, why? I just don't understand. I can understand why they're stupid and bad, but the thing that makes me upset is when other people come to bat for it, to be like, I like my slop.
Yeah, it is funny how, no matter how bad something is, someone will always defend it, you know?
Yeah.
Does he have one about Pascal?
Yeah, he's got multiple about Pascal.
Show me one. Throw it up there on the computer.
Yeah. I'm going to cut all that out so I don't look petty. But it really did get, like, he didn't get to me, and the guy who responded didn't get to me. The one who got to me was fucking Niall Farrell of Cherry Comedy, who was saying that, like, take a day off. I wasn't for the fucking, let me read out this comment. Have a day off. What have you done for Irish comedy? Unfollow if you don't like it. I've already have. The reason I followed was because it looked like they were doing stuff that was like, first of all, it's like political comedy. Huh? We did reach out to them because I was like, do you know what? Like, if this is the type of stuff that you're doing, then good. Let's like collaborate. Let's work on something. And then it turns out it's like the excuse always with these AI guys is like, oh, but I don't want to pay somebody money. I want to make somebody like obsolete. It's like, yeah, but you do realize that why that's bad to say. Why are you saying it that way? Do you know, I don't want to pay anybody. Okay, make it yourself. Oh, I could, but I can't. All right, well then don't. Like, you know, fucking, don't know what to tell you. And like, anyway, whatever. So Niall says, have a day off. What have you done for Irish comedy? Unfollow if you don't like it, rather than have a go at someone who has put 10 times more effort into helping Irish comedy than you ever have.
Fair.
Well, I mean, you know, we'll give him that one.
And then someone defended you.
Fucking Ian Lynham comes to the horns of Gondor rang out as you're saying some. Is that bad to say? Does that imply that he's our enemy?
No, I don't think so.
He said, I mean, he did run one of the best alternative comedy nights in Dublin, was way ahead of the curve, booking all women lineups, and was involved in one of the only adult animations ever put out by RTE. And I'd actually forgotten that. I was thinking about it in terms of comedy, and I wasn't thinking about it in terms of myself as an animator. And I was like, actually, I'm offended on multiple levels, and I have right to be. I don't agree with the use of AI, but I respect Newscheck's right to make creative decisions and recognize the enormous contributions they've made to sketch in this country. Citation needed. If you don't like Garrett's POV, that's fine, but there's no need to belittle his achievements. And then, yeah.
And then what did he say?
And then I couldn't like it because I didn't want to be liking a bunch of nice things have said about me.
You have to like them. You have to like the nice ones, otherwise you're leaving them in the lurch. Like it.
Well,
Do you like it?
I liked it now. Okay. But I had sent a message saying, oh, thanks for that.
But you have to publicly get behind him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looks like you're ignoring him for some reason.
Yeah. This one is good. This guy goes, micro penis touched as a bairn isn't an excuse to bully. And then this guy goes, couldn't pay for a joke writer either.
Confused by that one now.
I just thought that was funny. Where he's like, oh, I couldn't pay an animator. I'm like, oh, yeah, so you couldn't pay for a joke writer either.
Right. But what about the micro? You say something about a micro?
I thought it was in
penis.
response to the micro penis one, but it's not.
Who
and
said the
then
thing about the micro penis? Did you say that?
No, I didn't say shit. Some guy called YY94845 said that.
What's he like?
Don't know. He's got no profile picture and his account is locked. Or he has no posts. Never mind. And then this guy called Vespertilio Hominy said, why bother being negative, mate? You think you're being honest probably because you've been lied to by someone you love and now you feel the need to express your opinion when all you really want to do is hurt people, so you feel the tiniest bit better about whatever it is that's got you pissy. For that I say, go get some help. Go talk to somebody about you think it's a good thing to do this.
Right. See if that guy has posted up any like personal information.
He has his account is private. His picture is it looks like fucking John Feder. It's an AI generated image of like what looks like John Fetterman in a Captain Canada. It's not John Fetterman now that I've got into it. I don't know what it is. Some like
just
player in Canada.
Just report it for abuse. Move on.
Yeah.
Was there something about John Fetterman in the news?
He's got a book out at the moment, and apparently it's causing psychic damage to Will Menaker reading it.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder how long he'll live.
Fetterman.
Yeah.
Hopefully not long.
Do you think he'll be one of the ones who's like 100 years old in the Senate or the
No
Congress?
way. No hope.
There's Pascal now.
That's
Clear
not
as a
Pascal.
bell.
No, it's not
Who
Pascal.
is it? Jack Chambers?
Yeah, Jack Chambers.
It's been 6 months since Pascal's left me hall. I don't know what I'm doing. Shh. What? Look down here. There's nothing down there, me hall. It's just my reflection. Look, Herdor. Oh my God. Pascal. Jack. Pascal? You have forgotten me, Jack. No, how could I? You have forgotten who you are, Jack. The tax breaks for the rich, the American tech companies, the professional landlords. They're still getting their breaks. I'm just spending more time on social housing. Nonsense. We're not in power for social housing. Look at yourself, Jack. You're almost as bad as this guy.
Hakuna Matata. It means I blame the immigrants.
You're more than what you've become. You are a Fianna Fáiler. I'm still a Fianna Fáiler. Brown envelopes, sweetheart deals, problematic gender imbalances. You must take your place in the golden circle. Do you mean the circle of life? No, the Aer Lingus Golden Circle. It's the only way to travel to Brussels this summer. But what about giving people the opportunity to own their own home, Pascal? Hey, Pascal, who are you talking to in here? I have to go now. Wait, where are you? I thought you were dead. No, I'm just in the World Bank. But remember me, Jack. No, Pascal, remember me.
Yeah, it's what? A minute long and it has so many plot holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't. It's like go to ChatGPT, right? What's the consensus opinion on Pascal Donahue?
Do something funny on Pascal Donahue in a movie.
What does he do?
It's like, okay. There's the Lion King, but
I think the thing I don't get about it is the idea that in the movie, in The Lion King, Simba is sort of like tortured. He can't take up the mantle that is required of him. And then he's visited by his father, who kind of gives him the courage to go back and reclaim the pride from Scar. So what it's meant to be is that like Simba's lost his way. So Jack Chambers has lost his way. How has he lost his way? He's lost his way because he wants to build too many social homes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's the first one there. You're like, immediately, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
First, secondly, why is Pascal Donahue appearing to him to tell him that you're a Fianna Fáiler and you need to embrace it? Pascal is a Fine Gael.
But they might as well be the same party.
Yeah, they might as well. And you could make that argument for sure, but like, that's not what this is doing. This thing is literally like, what's in the news? Pascal Donahue going to the World Bank. Is there some sort of millennial pop culture thing that we can include in it? Have a bunch of little cartoons and moving images to distract them. Plug it with a bunch of SEO shit and dump it on Instagram, because who fucking cares? As long as we're paying as few people as possible to have an idea, because I certainly don't have any.
I'm trying to think of one. Maybe like, what's another film?
Do you mean any film, or are we trying to think of something that has a scene that could be like...
Well, just to get the ball rolling.
Sorry, I just realised that David McManus has commented.
What? Who's that?
That's the David McManus. You know, the one with his little cowlick. That's the one who tried to tear up Owen O'Brien's.
Yes.
Not even funny. 8,000 council houses built last year.
It's not a lot. First of all, that's not a lot.
No, it's not.
There's a big bad defense there.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, he was a fucking moron. And then the next one says, with most of probably given to sand N-words.
Fucking. Get up another one.
I was thinking about, I will pull up another one, but I wanted to also, can we touch on, is her name Ailish McCarthy and her efforts to try and get comedy recognised by the Arts Council and properly funded?
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about that because I might have been slightly skeptical about it before, but then after this exchange, I was like, we need a fucking we need a state body yesterday for comedy. Do you know what I mean? We want to see what these guys are doing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just good for comedy now that they get Arts Council funded, you know?
Yeah.
I don't see any negative.
Oh my God, look at this cunt. He got onto the Virgin Media Discovers. That's him there. That's the guy from Newscheck.
Okay. Who's the other guy? Sean Hayes.
Don't know him. So David Atkinson. Airport pints. You know an airport bar.
Yes.
You've taken the 5 a.m. photo. Don't lie. This is the story of those who stay behind. Stuck in Ireland's busiest airport bar. A downtrodden team of bartenders must navigate unruly travellers' endless pints and their own grounded ambitions. I think that you should have that money rescinded if you use AI.
Yeah, I definitely don't think you should be allowed to use it.
By the way,
I do agree with you.
Here's him. Here's fucking him.
Yeah.
That's him. He just said that he doesn't want to appear on camera because he's nervous. There he is.
Yeah, I know, he's clearly lying.
That's insane to me.
Get the fella up. I want to see what your man... He loves that balaclava fella. Go down.
That's
such a recurring...
We watched this one.
Frank, what's wrong with you? Well, I'm just wondering, I suppose, Joe. Like, it's just, all this arson and death threats and rioting we're doing. Aye. Are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies?
What's he talking about? Look, Frank, these people are criminals. I know, but Joe, I burnt down a Filipino family's wheelie bin last night, and I feel like that just doesn't change much, Aye, he's right. That's true. Aye, I think he's right. Aye, but this'll send a message. This'll be a dagger through the heart of the system. Aye, but I'm getting daggers at home from my wife, because we torched the leisure centre she goes to.
Talk to Joe on 1850 71.
Someone's in the doghouse. Listen to me now. These foreigners are coming in their droves. Groups of men are meeting up and talking and wearing funny clothes. Oh, fuck, actually. Anyway, what happens if they start breaking the law? Setting things on fire and that kind of thing? We have to put a stop to them now, because what is a society without the rule of law? So we're going to take this diesel and we're going to burn down this office that might become a hotel for migrants, because no one is going to break the law except us. Come on, lads.
Oh yeah, now I remember that.
One thing I didn't realize last time is how the background, and obviously this is going to happen with AI. Like in some shots are in a pub, and in some shots are in like some sort of a den where there's like a cork board.
Yeah.
You know, with a plan on it.
And then
What?
we said it the last time, but the idea of like, oh, I'm getting daggers from the missus, cut back to a loyalist sitting in his house listening to Joe Duffy. What the fuck is do you like look at this and be like, good, put it out there. That's good for people. People like that. Do you know? People and like people do like it. People will be down there and they'll be like, haha, funny. The crying laughing emoji used more than any comment section I've ever fucking seen, which is a sign of quality.
Yeah.
And these guys are like
more crying, laughing emojis.
Brian O'Toole, started talking about some far right influencer the other day, whose name always escapes me, but he's the most racist of all of them.
Oh, is he the one who everyone's going out against?
Yeah, everyone hates him because he's kind of like our Charlie Kirk, and he invites that as well. He's not like, you know, I don't think he's oblivious.
He meets a similar end.
And also he was part of like Spoil the Vote. Like he appeared in like whatever their little committee where Paul Trevaux was there along with fucking who else was on that? Declan Ganley, Paul Trevaux. I don't think Maria Steen was there. Anyway, the point is I saw his rabid supporters. And I thought if we talked about him, I said to Brian, I was like, I'm trying to figure out how to poke that bear because there's gold in that there hills. You know, that they'll like, that bear. There's gold in that there bear. They eat anything. They have old tires in them sometimes. But like they, like we get those guys and then they start fucking going off on our replies and suddenly our videos get boosted up in the Instagram algorithm.
Yeah.
And then... I don't know whether but
it's
given
risky,
how,
isn't it? But it could be worth it.
Yeah, but like given how this guy David Atkinson has just said to me, just the most kind of like, all right, I guess just unfollow because I don't want to pay an animator and I'm just going to keep making AI shit. Given how much that has aggravated me. You know, this thing of like talking a big game, like, oh, I'd love to have the far right be mad at me. No, you wouldn't. You'd hate it. I'd hate it so much.
Yeah.
And
I wonder how far they'd go. Like, what level would you take? Like, obviously you don't want them turning up outside your house.
Yeah, which they wouldn't. I don't believe they would.
But say, would you want them posting pictures of us? That'd be good.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it, but they could do it. It's fine. I don't care. Like that one wouldn't bother me so much. I think the thing is Zainab's having this issue at the moment where she was kind of getting into it on social media, just like antagonizing a bunch of these racists. And initially it starts off as like, haha, this is really funny. And now she is like extremely depressed because like inviting them into your head, you know, maybe it's an overused expression, but you look into the abyss and the abyss does look back. You can't engage with these people without letting them in a little bit, and once you do, it's just no good.
Have you ever seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yes.
And he goes, hating someone is like drinking poison and expecting them to die.
Exactly. Yeah.
My therapist said that to me as well.
And he was like, and the horse work and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know there was horses. Well, there was a few, just they were going between certain places, but
But yeah, those horses were the real star.
Yeah.
The
Unbelievable. Clearly, like, so he's saying like, oh, I'm nervous, so I don't want to be. He just didn't want to pay somebody to film him, but he doesn't need to pay somebody to film him. He could just do like a front-facing camera on that.
Anyway, come squash the beef.
Come on the pod, David.
Squash the beef.
Yeah,
we can do a skit together called
What's in the news? Okay, let's just type into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
What's in? Go away.
Go to Gemini. I don't think you need an account for that one.
Well, you can write it in here anyway. I'm able to do it now. What's in Irish news and pop culture now? SEO optimized. I know it's redundant, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Funny words. So sorry about this, folks. Comedy takes a while.
Not as easy as it looks.
Sure, here's a cheeky SEO-friendly rundown of what's hot in Ireland right now, for some reason in quotes. News and pop culture with a bit of a grin, winky face.
Don't read it. Don't read it. Just type in, write a sketch based on this.
Yeah. Based on...
funny comedy sketch.
This for Newscheck Comedy. Why is it called Newscheck? Such a terrible name. Newscheck, Ireland this week. Opening. Aoife, good evening and welcome to Newscheck, the show that asks the hard-hitting questions like, why is Ireland suddenly producing world-class alternative music? And is it too late to pretend I'm Icelandic to dodge the new migration rules? You be Dara, I'll be Aoife.
Our top story, the government says it's tightening immigration rules to slow population growth, which is bold, because it's hard to, I wish I could zoom in.
Hold on.
Maybe I can.
That work?
Yeah. Our top story, the Irish government says it's tightening immigration rules to slow population growth, which is bold considering most Irish people can't even get their own relatives to move back from Australia.
Mm-hmm. Now, that was just the opening, so prepare to... Segment 1, Migration Madness. Aoife says, the new rules mean refugees will wait longer for citizenship, family reunification requires more income, and asylum seekers might have to pay toward accommodation.
Yes, asylum seekers will now be charged for staying in government housing because nothing says welcome to Ireland like an invoice.
This genuinely... Keep your eyes out on Newscheck because this could 100%. Do you know, like, there was a funny one where, like, Owen Jones is now saying, like, oh my God, it turns out Jeffrey Epstein might have been a Mossad agent. And all these other people were like, it was A.Up Lovely is always having constant beef with Owen Jones. But one of the things he was saying, he's been saying forever that Jeffrey Epstein is clearly a Mossad agent. And Owen Jones has just been calling that anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. And now it's like, oh, it turns out he might have been. And you're like, this is unbelievable. Yeah. This is unbelievable. Like,
it's also mad. Just everyone. I know it's not a hot take. Everyone was friends with Epstein. Like everyone. Yeah. Like Chomsky was really good friends with him. The guy George Mitchell, I think his name is, the guy who's the American guy involved the Good Friday Agreement. He was friends with
I didn't know
Epstein. That. It's just like everybody. Like even with like the scandal of the church.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You had priests who weren't doing, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas in America, it really does seem like they were all doing it. It'll be like, there's such a low bar for entry into the Epstein, arena. You know what I mean?
I also, the way that they were talking about it, like, we were always talking about how rich people sort of treat the world like it's a game, you know? And then they're playing in it.
Yeah.
And just hearing the stuff that they do where it's like, fucking hell. Like, I don't know, like this thing where Chomsky's like, hey, can you get me like a meeting with the president of Israel, or prime minister of Israel, do you know? And we'll meet on an island and just do a bunch of sex crimes, you know?
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, and then Steve Bannon talking to him, the fact that all sides are talking to them, and I don't know, like they stand out there and they act like things are real, and then it's almost like behind the scenes they're like, look, it's not real, obviously. Like, you're not even really my enemy. Like, I just don't like Trump. I don't think, like, whatever they say about like he would be really bad for this country, it's clear that they're like, he's just a dry hang. Didn't like being around him, and I don't think he should be president, you know?
Anyone else I keep trying to find out if any Irish person's been on the Epstein files.
They will never let us know. Like, because obviously, like, there's the documents are so long. It's obviously there has to be, because everybody was on it, okay? But like, you think just nobody in Irish media, you know, their obsession with America, and yet they'll only ever have the most surface level analysis that they've gotten from like CNN, and they'll never view it in like Irish terms. Like, and they're always trying to find ways to make it about Ireland. They're like, you know, to use the old cliche, oh, we went over there and we built New York, and it actually, Joe Biden is Irish and the peace process is very important to him. And then it'll be like, okay, well, which Irish person was on the Epstein flights? Don't know, I didn't read it. Some guy in CNN told me that actually it's really spelling a lot of trouble for Trump in the midterms. You're like, this is so crazy.
What Irish guy do you think's been on it?
Bono. I mean, obviously, it's too obvious, but Bono.
That's true.
You know, like, and if it ever came out, it'd be like, oh no, I was talking to him because, you know, he was a fellow philanthropist, or like, you know, he was desperately interested in the Middle East, and I just wanted to see if I could sit down around a table and have a conversation with them, you know? That sort of shit. Bob Geldof, I don't know. No, probably not. Although Bob Geldof is like, he voted Tory in the last election, so.
What was it like? It seemed like just anyone, you know, you could vote for like Sinn Féin and still go. It just seems like wide open.
I didn't even think about that. Who from Sinn Féin would have gone? Like, honestly, Jerry Adams, okay? You know that picture of him with like Trump, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you could totally imagine where it's like these guys are like they're the upper crust of society. It's like, you know, the fucking Elephant Man or some sort of socialite. It's like, I must have him at my party. I gotta catch them all.
Yeah. I wonder if any of the unionists were at it, or are they just happy doing their own one at Kincora?
Some of them live and die without ever having been on a plane, so I wouldn't be. I hate these headphones. They have a touch
Trimble.
They have a touch thing, okay? So if my hand passes by it, then it fucks up the audio or the volume or whatever.
Right. Do you think I can't think of any other famous Irish people. Which is so strange because we punch above our weight, you know?
Yeah. Cillian Murphy, Liam Neeson. Is there a woman there? I always find it funny when a woman is on. Julie Taymor, who directed Spider-Man Into the Dark, and also a bunch of others, but that's the main one. And the funniest one. which was written by Bono and The Edge. So there you go, musical, Spider-Man musical.
Oh, right, yeah. That was the one that cost loads of money and didn't do well.
Yeah, and everybody, one of the main reasons it kept costing a load of money is because all of the actors who were playing Spider-Man kept being horrifically injured. This guy who broke his back.
Really?
Yeah.
How ironic.
Are you saying it's ironic because that's like catchphrase from the Sam Raimi movies? My back!
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, do you remember when your man says my back?
Tobey Maguire.
My back!
What's in the news? Maybe we should have ChatGPT write some stuff. I take it all back.
What's
David,
in the
come
news,
on the
folks?
pod.
Pascal Donahue
Yeah. He's done a lot.
is gone
Yeah.
to the World Bank.
Yeah.
He's definitely on Epstein Island 2.0, you know?
Yeah. Whatever version of Epstein
whoever
Island
the new-
we find out about in 10 years' time.
Yeah. But, he's just enjoying this, going for a walk on the beach or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like he wouldn't have it in him to... He's not a particularly virile man, is he? But then neither was Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew and Pascal Donahue are sort of similar, phenotype, whatever,
Yeah.
aren't they? So maybe he would do it.
I remember, and here's another bit of my social media thing where I got us banned from Twitter for a day.
Oh, yeah. Just for a day.
Yeah.
I need to make a coffee, I'm afraid.
That's all right. Yeah, let's regroup. See, this is the
Okay.
problem. Because it's made by people, so it's powered by... Do you know what I mean? So, maybe the machine can be quicker and can be providing you with more, but to get quality content, you need certain conditions to be met.
Yeah. Okay, give me one
All
sec.
right. Maybe I'll start making coffee. Yeah, so I was also thinking, while he's gone, I haven't really been following the Ailish McCarthy thing all that much. I think that's her name. That is her. So Ailish McCarthy, we made reference to it there. She has been tirelessly campaigning to have comedy recognized as an art form, and also relevant because the artist dole, I'm just going to call it that, they're going to be doing it and expanding it next year, but I'm not sure whether it's considered an art form so that comedians are actually able to avail of it. So it's prompted a lot of discussions in online circles that I'm in about comedy, and it's invigorating. It's good to just have people talking about this stuff, thinking about this stuff, doing it in a different way, which is more nourishing than just, it's only a laugh. Where they make the AI slop and they go, it's just fucking laugh. It's just a bit of a joke. Who fucking cares? Well, I care. And I care enough to get angry about it. And I get angry, there's a phrase, the opposite of love isn't hatred, it's indifference. And I think there's a version of that could be used to describe why I have such a visceral reaction to people shrugging off AI slop. They'll be like, look, maybe it's not your thing. Oh, who cares? Whatever. I just like my little slop, okay? That's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine, actually. Because you're dipping into the vast reservoir of stuff that people have made, drawn, spent time on, effort. And then you're regurgitating it into something that is not good. It's incoherent mess. and it's being fed back into the same algorithm it's pulling from, like a human centipede. So everything's getting fucking shit and worse, and you're burning the planet to do it, to tell a joke. Except, like, the thing about jokes as well is that a joke is a gift that you give to somebody. I laugh and I feel a nice little feeling in my head, okay? Now I want to give that to somebody else, okay? And then these guys go, that's too much hassle. It's not worth my time and effort to make something that people will laugh at. So obviously they're fooling themselves when they think they have done that, because they like look at the thing and they think, now, hello again. That was really
Hello
quick.
again. Thank you.
Did you really get a cup of coffee in that space of time?
Just this once. Don't get used to it.
I was just talking about like why people tell jokes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The idea is that you presumably want to make somebody laugh. You want to give them a little treat, okay? And when you use AI, you're basically saying, I couldn't even be arsed. You know? You're like, I got the computer to make the thing to make you laugh. What I hate about David Atkinson's, naming him, approach to all of this stuff is that he has no taste and he's got no love, okay? All it is about creating grist for the mill, okay?
Yeah.
And I think I didn't really have any problem with them when he was doing like sketch comedy stuff, or when he had these little classes, or when they were making little content that seemed like you were collaborating with people. But like when you then start like outsourcing the creative work to the computer as if it's a hassle, just so you can make more videos to try and get more eyeballs so you can get more money, that's just not a thing that I like.
Yeah, it is like, what is the point?
What is the fucking point? And I think also about that, he kind of goes like, I can't pay somebody to make this. There's been plenty of times where I've done this, although obviously it's not a business model, okay? Which is why it doesn't work for him. But anyway, the point is that somebody will be like, I have this idea and I have this passion and I really want to do this, but I don't have any money. And you go, okay, well, let's collaborate on something, because let's say there are people out there who, surprise, surprise, just like animating but can't write, okay?
Yeah.
You could collaborate with each other to build something, and then either the promise is that the money is going to be in the future, or or you have the thing by the end of it, okay?
Yeah.
So you go look at it and you go, well, I didn't make any money off of that, but at least I have the thing. Whereas with the AI slop, and his excuse is just to say, oh, but I don't have any money to give somebody to make this thing that I don't even really want to make. Like,
yeah.
It's just like, just fucking do something else. Just like, why don't you be like a social media manager for like, I don't know, like, why don't you be helpful? Go to fucking Joe.ie or something and become one of their guys who's posting all the time, or like the producer that's demanding. Like, why do you have to be the guy, you know? And from what I've seen is I'm going to launch something with a bunch of talent, and then slowly kind of weed that they go away once I build up the brand, and then I can just make the things myself using AI. But I actually do give a shit about this world that we're living in, which is getting shitter and worse, and everybody's trying to sell you something and nothing means anything, and you just like toss it out there, and then like, oh, I disagree that it's harming the environment. You can't disagree that it's harming the environment because it's a fucking fact, okay?
Yeah.
So anyway, he is making everything worse. But I was thinking about this with Ailish McCarthy, because I was like, the discussions that she's prompting are more worthwhile than anything that this guy is doing as well, do you know? Like, I don't know, just the idea of like talking about things and thinking about comedy differently. In Ireland, the attitude is The AI attitude towards AI is just an evolution of what's already been there. Who cares? It's just something you put on in the background or something to get people in to have a few fucking pints. Doesn't matter what the fuck they're saying. Who gives a shit? It's nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
like I think one of the nice things about comedy is there's always that tension between like you want them to be good, but it also has to be like marketable. You know?
Yeah.
I think in Ireland we somehow ended up in a situation where like it's nearly impossible to earn a living off comedy, but everyone's still extremely focused on the market, you know? Like instead of going like, oh, we're not going to make money out of this, we might as well just enjoy it. You know, people refusing to do new material because they want to get their type 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that funding can only hopefully remove some of that pressure. You know, it's like if suddenly you can get a bit of money to write something new or like write something a bit different, that can only be good, I think.
Yeah.
You know, comedians getting bursaries or getting like funding.
Yeah.
I can't see how it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? But
yeah, I mean, it's just there's a whole rejection of like creativity and fun and people like enjoying it. It's just this stupid, cutthroat sort of. I don't know. I it's been a long time since I was kind of directly involved in Irish comedy, but like too much exposure to it just depresses you. You know,
Irish people don't seem to enjoy the things they're supposed to.
No.
Like, I've often said this about Irish rappers. They don't seem to be having a good time. Like, you watch clips from, like, Dre's recording studio, and they're all, like, dancing and stuff, and someone plays, like, a beat. Or, like, English ones are the same, whereas, like, you don't get that with Irish rappers. And it comes across in the music, where they're all, like, it's the same thing. It's like they're trying really hard instead of enjoying themselves. And like the ceiling's so low, you might as well just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because you probably end up at the ceiling anyway. If you stick around long enough. You know.
I was reminded as well of Stuart Lee's. He did a documentary where he found out about something called the Pueblo Clowns. Who are, I'm looking at Wikipedia, jesters or tricksters in the Pueblo region. In a generic term, there are a number of these figures. But anyway, so basically there is like a town for a day, maybe just for a few hours, I think.
In France?
No, it's not in France. It's in like Mexico.
Oh.
It gets taken over for a day by these clowns who just run around the place doing mad shit to people. Yeah.
Now, if you think if you think that's bad, one day the clowns are in charge.
Yeah.
I heard about this little island in the middle of the ocean where the clowns are in charge every day.
Iceland.
What was Stuart Lee saying about them?
Well, it was more like I tried to listen. I was listening to the documentary that he basically what he said in his book was that he was interested by them, and then his friend told him, if you approach the BBC, they probably pay for you to go and look at this. And he was like, oh fuck, that's a good idea. And so he did. And then they gave him money for a documentary. And then he says he went over and he's like, and then I realized I had to make a documentary. So they're like, it's like a radio documentary because they will not allow. He couldn't record it. He could only just say what happened.
Right.
But they basically don't allow any devices. And then if they see you with like a camera, then they take it off of you and like throw it into a river or something. You know, like
really?
Like, but it's like all the rules are sort of like broken. It's kind of acknowledged that like all of this stuff, like within reason, you know. But it's not like fucking The Purge. It's just like it's a joyful experience where like everybody's kind of engaged with it. And then the only reason I was thinking about it is just to think about different types of comedy, because so often in Ireland, it can be so fucking restrictive, you know? It can be so like, comedy happens in pubs after 8 p.m. and you go on stage and you talk about, your fucking bitch wife, and then you go home, you know? Or you talk about Jews, even though you've never met a fucking Jew in your entire life. You know, that sort of like, I'm watching those Tommy Black t-shirt comedian over in the fucking comedy, cellar.
Yeah.
He went on, he fucking killed, man. He had this bit about the Holocaust, it fucking killed, man. And you're doing those bits like, just like, unlike them. It's like, you're fucking boring. You're fucking boring. I know there's less of them around, but it did feel like after COVID, it was almost like The Empire Strikes Back. You know what I mean? I started seeing all of these like posters for like covered in shamrocks for like the crack den or whatever. And it's like, a bunch of guys holding pints, making like bemused faces. And, we're meant to be going there to hear their kind of wry observations about stuff, or, imitating Tommy Tiernan, where they just like pounce around the stage making faces. And it's like, this sucks, man. When I was there for a brief period of time, it really felt like one of the first comedy I suppose it was one of the first ones I saw in Dublin. I used to be like just listening to stand-up or listening to stand-up podcasts or doing any of that. And then I went to a comedy gig that I saw Mark Baldwin was performing at, but it was organized by your pal Dick Walsh and Ed Salmon.
Yeah.
And is there Sean Walsh? Is that his name? What's his name?
Tom
Walsh. And they did it next to NCAD, and it had Peter. What was his name? The guy who was
Dooley.
Like is Peter Dooley? Yeah, genuinely like crazy man who just went up there and read like the newspaper. And then Moira Brady, and then Lords of Strut, and who else? Yeah, it was the pair. It was Dick Walsh and Edwin Salmon. And I if I'm remembering correctly, they were like dressed as priests. I can't remember if I'm misremembering that. And Kevin McGahern was there as well, along with Mark Baldwin. And I thought, oh, this is like what I've heard on my podcast, all the crazy stuff happening in stand-up comedy, and I simply must be a part of it. And then every other time, no shade to them, to this event or night, but like the Haypenny Inn, where you go in and you're suddenly sitting there and it's like everybody is like shit-faced in the audience and just talking as if like the act is the radio, It's like, there was an effort though, there was like sometimes to put out like little nights. But then I just feel like since COVID, it was almost like a retreat. We're going back. Well, nobody wants that shit.
I'd actually gotta say the opposite.
Really?
Where but I was gonna say, it's like, I with the crackdown and stuff, it can be good. But it's like, if it's the only thing you're getting, it'll make you want to kill yourself. You know what I mean? It's like if you only eat oven pizza.
Yeah.
It's good once in a while, but you wouldn't want it to be
yeah, exactly. You want a varied comedy diet would be nice, wouldn't it?
But then, like, I think the comedy thing and just this year has been good. Makes me feel optimistic. Like Mark
Maloney,
friend
Test
of the
Tube
pod.
Babies, very good.
His show, I think he's been doing really well.
Also, a new podcast,
Babies.
Wet Cold Irish Summer.
We're not talking about we don't promote other podcasts.
Okay, sorry.
On this show.
Don't look that up.
Don't look that up. But the comedy, you can go to the comedy.
You can go to the comedy because we don't do that.
And then Francis Breen's night is good.
Yes.
Whatever. I can never remember what it's called.
Is it a bag of clowns? Does that make sense to you? Something like that?
Yeah. Vernon and...
Oh, yeah. That looked funny. I didn't see.
Stephen Bradley did a show. That was really good. Did Daddy Laugh. There's been like a lot of things, and then when you turn up, like everyone's fully committed.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I started comedy, it'd be like...
It's Who's This Clown? Sorry, Francis's night. Just apologies.
There'd be like a theme night or like a night of sketch. I know the comedians turn up and just do their normal thing,
Yes.
but maybe like. It's like, do you remember you telling me about that when Carl Spain supported Stuart Lee?
Yeah.
And just did his normal routine in a different
Yeah.
voice, sort of. Whereas now, when there's something, I feel like people are a bit more excited by getting the opportunity to do something.
Yeah.
Like when people do Mark's Night, they generally do write something new.
They do, yeah.
Whereas when I was starting, that wouldn't happen. They
No.
would have just done their normal thing.
I remember like when I was doing Black Hole in the Wall, like we did it in a squat initially, the Barricade Inn, and there was like an anarchist who was organizing all this stuff. There's a joke right there. And
Yeah.
he was great, but he said, you know, stand-up comedy. He sent me this thing, and I think I might have been 23 or something. And I was still kind of hopped up. I'd be like listening to like Bill Burr and all of this sort of shit. Not that I was ever like, I like Bill Burr, fine. Although he did play in Saudi Arabia, so that kind of.
But he killed, man. He killed over there.
Yeah, he bloody killed a journalist. Put him in a fucking suitcase. I don't know what you heard of what he said about that, but he like, in defending playing in Saudi Arabia, he ended up being like, he was going to, actually, you are the ones who are racists because you won't let me perform in Saudi Arabia. And then he started talking about, you know, we have this idea of the Saudis that they're like this. And then he just describes like the most racist depiction of an Arab ever. And then he goes, and it wasn't like that at all. They laugh like everything as long as you don't talk about one or two things. But anyway, the point is that like, I was of the opinion that there is like, nothing is off limits. So this guy sent me this thing, and he just was like, you know, stand-up comedy has a, it's kind of known to be kind of misogynist, ableist, and racist. So basically, we would prefer if you didn't do material that was kind of punching down in that way, you know?
So you're censoring me.
That's exactly what I was like, what is this? And then I thought about it for like a split second, and I was like, actually, yeah, you know, like, fucking, was I planning on doing that? No. And, you know, then you suddenly start to be like, maybe it's all right to have like a little sort of like, I don't know, walls up a bit so that you can, it's unfair to even call them sort of like limitations, because I don't think that they are, but just, is it okay? Maybe it's fine to basically be like, as a personal challenge to myself, I won't say this thing that is racist.
I saw this guy on Instagram, and it was so bizarre, because he was like, you know, the classic comedian thing of like, you know, if you go after one person, you gotta go after everybody.
Yeah.
And then there's like a woman with Down syndrome in the audience.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, leading up to this, he was like, you know, if you don't do somebody, it's like you're being patronizing to them.
Yeah.
And then he turned to her and was like, we got a retard in the audience tonight. And it was like, right at her. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's not, like, clever.
No.
But that's, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to take that approach, you can't just be like, look at this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and you were talking about Jerry Sadowitz, and that was the kind of... You mentioned that there was a woman in the audience who was like cackling along, and she's like, yes, about him talking about men, and then he switches to talking about women, and she's like, no.
Yeah.
This is, but it was like...
But you're sort of enjoying.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that sort of... the problem with these guys, like the kind of free speech fellas, is that like they're like, I should be allowed to say it. It's like, you shouldn't be allowed to say it. You should just like, it's like with Cumtown or something. You kind of are like, can you like justify why you're saying this, or what is the provocation here? What are you doing? You can't just say a word and have it be funny, because then that is like just I don't know, whatever. I just feel like I'm repeating myself again, but I find it just the whole thing very tedious. I guess I wanted to bring up the Pueblo clowns, and the idea of saying don't be racist, explicitly saying don't be racist to comedians, as like, can we have a different conversation? I've said it before. Why does comedy have to be on in the evening? Why does it always have to be associated with alcohol? Why do you have like this, like, betting companies and like OnlyFans are the natural sponsors of all of these things? Why is that the case? Why can't you just, like, can we do anything else?
Some of that stuff I agree with, like the advertising things.
Yeah.
But then, like, sometimes I definitely agree with you the most of it, but with it's like, have you ever seen those things where it's like, why does a rave have to be on at night?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like, they always suck.
Yeah.
But that's not to say it's impossible either.
No.
So, the more experimentation, the better. Have you ever gone to like a day rave or any of them?
Well, I've been at a festival.
I don't know why I'm asking you that.
I went to a festival, and I remember when you say day rave, the first thing that comes to mind is a tent at Body and Soul that was filled with white people, and they were playing reggae music and just groove into it. And this woman had these long dreadlocks that were almost touching the dirty ground. And I was just like, just burn this place to the ground. There was something about it that was so unseemly. And the other one, I did perform stand-up comedy, and I mean, I just liked that she did this. Some of they weren't always successful, but remember when Moira Brady did one? Were you there for that one where there was a restaurant or a cafe called Custer's Revenge or something?
Yeah,
and
no, I didn't do that one.
Maximum amount of people that would fit in that venue would be about 10 comfortably. Okay.
Right.
So you're all standing you're like, it's almost like you're in that System of a Down music video where you're in the middle of this like mosh pit, standing at eye level with everybody who you're performing comedy with. And I remember at one point I was like, I said something like, no, I know scientist like Noam Chomsky or whatever, and then she said, he's a linguist. Just like, and she's like standing like a foot away from me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was the other one of, there was like a garden behind NCAD, like a community garden. And she organized one there. And she also organized one in a cafe in Kilkenny, which is where we first met. And it was on during while the play was happening at the same time.
It was you and Larney were on.
Yes.
I don't think I was on. I think I just went down.
One time, I thought that you drove down and you were going to be on, but either you were so incredibly late that you couldn't be on anymore, or you just saw the setup and were like, I'm not doing this. But I remember very distinctly that you were driving us back, but you seemed to be like furious. Knowing you now, like I could kind of read that actually you were very, very angry while driving us back.
Why? What was I doing?
Well, you were just very quiet, but you were like gripping the steering wheel. It was almost like because what happened is this: what happened? You got lost on the way down to Kilkenny, unless I'm mixing it up with a number of other times.
Yes, I do remember that. It took like 4 hours to get down.
And then you got down, and then the gig was basically over, where it was like, "We're sorry, there's nothing going on." And then you were like, "I need to get some food." So we were like searching forever to try and find a takeaway. And I remember you just fucking eyes could like bore through steel. It was you were so angry.
Yeah. I think we ended up going to like a Super Value or something.
No, we went to like this really greasy takeaway that was next to a petrol station. Yeah.
I probably liked that, did I?
Probably, yeah.
We hadn't developed that sophisticated palate yet.
But anyway, I don't know, just stuff like, and I when I did Black Hole in the Wall one time, I asked Kevin Larney whether he could come on, and he was like, "Oh, it might be tight, but I can just about make it." So I was doing it in my art studio space, in the venue space. So he showed up, okay, just before he was about to go on, and he came in with a Dublin bike and then planted the Dublin bike up on stage, and Just started, so he'd like cycled over from another venue and had his whole performance was with a Dublin bike behind him. Stuff like that. I don't know. It's just like fucking fun, man. I don't know.
The other guy got punched.
Yeah, a guy got punched.
But it wasn't even by a guy who was in the venue. It was like...
No, it was a guy who was in the venue.
I thought someone just like walked by and...
No, what happened is this guy showed up and he'd been broken up with by his girlfriend that day. So he had taken a bunch of drinks and decided he would go to a comedy show. And we were filming this one for like, Francis was helping me film it. And
someone else.
And someone else who will remain nameless. And so Moira was to go up playing one of her characters. And she wanted like the utmost secrecy. So she like went out to the smoking area out the back, which could also connected to the stage via another door. And she went out there with a jacket over her head so that nobody could see her. So that the first time they saw her was as character walking up onto the stage. And anyway, the this guy who was really drunk just started heckling her, but not in a kind of pleasant way, because the idea was that her character is meant to be entirely pitiable. Okay. And this guy just was so sensitive, he wasn't having it, So people would be like laughing at this person for being pathetic, and he'd be like, "Leave him alone."
He's trying his best.
Yeah, exactly. They were just going like, alone. He's like, because it looked like she was up there just kind of like falling apart, but it was like it was intentional. It was part of the bit. So she was getting frustrated at him for defending her, and then everybody else got awkward about laughing at it, So anyway, there was another person there who had gone to. It was a girl who had come to like a lot of these events, and she was there with some guy she was seeing, and this guy then ended up, I think he was just a kind of normal guy, okay? And he was like dating somebody who was like a bit of an artsy girl. And so he'd come and he was there just surrounded by these people and being like, "Yep, this is fine," And his like threshold was like throughout the night was getting like, he was just reaching his limit, okay? And he was sat next to this drunk guy who was being fucking annoying as hell. And then there was a break, and I think they got talking. And I think that this guy kept going on about his girlfriend, and he seemed to just be a little too like cozy with your man's girlfriend. I don't know whether you've been there. Right. Maybe I shouldn't admit to being there. But if you got your heart broken, you're looking for some woman to sort of validate you. And it's not exactly like hitting on somebody, but like it might as well be hitting on somebody, because you're just there going like, "Can you believe she said this?" No, I can't. You're looking for this is crazy. And you're a nice person. You're a nice person. You wouldn't treat somebody like that, that sort of thing. And but anyways, at one point in the middle of somebody's set, they had kind of reached their limit and they got up and they left. And then that drunk guy followed them. And as far as I was concerned, he was going to the toilet. I didn't know any of this was going on. And Aoife Balfe was at the door waiting for stragglers or whatever, and letting people in and out if they'd gone out for a cigarette or something. And anyways, I suddenly heard like this scuffle happening. And then I turned to the door just in time to hear Aoife Balfe go, "Oh my God." And this guy, so he was like, this is the part where you might think it was somebody who's just off the street. So the boyfriend was outside standing on the pavement, okay? And clearly he'd gotten into an argument with the drunk guy. And he got into an argument and then punched the drunk guy so hard that he literally went off of his feet, okay? Like a cartoon. He went into the air and skidded across and hit the table, okay?
Jesus.
And there was blood just like pouring everywhere out of his nose. And meanwhile, like I said, we're filming this and there's somebody on stage.
I was on stage with this.
Was that with you on stage? Okay.
Yeah. I could just feel there's like weirdness at the very end of the room.
Exactly. Because half of the room could hear it and the front half of the room couldn't hear it. So it was just creating this weird like energy and ambience. And that was... Anyway,
Susan Bockrook, she's working here in the Moby Dickens bookshop in Tawas. She's been to San Hieronymo Day many times.
You never approach one. I've never seen either a native or an Anglo approach them in a personal fashion, ask them a question or anything of that sort. They're very forbidding, and they're very funny. And there was an old woman sitting with a shawl around her shoulders on the bank of the river. And she was watching the whole scene. And this clown came down and he put his arm around her shoulder and he whispered in her ear, obviously something that was quite personal. And she put both of her hands over her mouth and giggled out of control. So that was just food for the feast. And he went over and got another chair and came down and sat right beside her and snuggled with her and continued whispering in her ear, and she was laughing uncontrollably. And that's my favorite story about the Kosharis.
And can you just tell us what they look like? What kind of costumes they're in?
Oh my. They're painted black and white with large stripes, maybe 9 inches across their arms, and they have usually a loincloth on, and they have corn husks tied above their ears and a lot of makeup on their faces. And as with, I think, most really good clowns, they become the clown. They lose their own identity and become the Kosharis. They also snatch children from their mothers and put them in the river. They're not going to hurt them. They just scare the hell out of them. But that's an interesting thing to watch. And so the young boys will tease them. In spite of what everyone says to all young boys, do not tease the clowns. They just have to. I'm sure you understand how that is.
Yeah, so I won't tease the clowns. I don't want to get thrown in the water. I need to be there to observe.
That's the end of the free bit. Go to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers for the rest, where the Ligers talk about Zoran Momdani meets Trump. Graham Linehan found guilty of calling a teenager a sissy porn-watching scumbag, but not of harassment apparently. Hideous opinion piece in the Irish Times by an Irish Zionist/Holocaust denier. Mini Palestine 36 movie review. Then they talk about the Dublin Metrolink and the importation of NIMBY/YIMBY shite.